Uh, Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Secretary, this goes back a little bit to what I said in my opening statement. I'm wondering about the long-term costs associated with existing vouchers and what will be the impact of Section 8 funding costs will have on the overall HUD budget and the other programs within the HUD budget. Do you have a plan, or are you going to have a plan to empower individuals to gain independence from the program? You know, the program seems to work, but nobody ever leaves it, and we certainly have long waiting lists for this Section 8.
Madam Chair, thank you for the question. I think it's a very important focus that we have in the Section 8 program. As I mentioned in my testimony, over half of the residents of public housing are either seniors or people living with disabilities. But beyond that, for those who are work able, we estimate that around 90% of those living in public housing in Section 8 who are able to work do work. And it's critical that we take additional steps to encourage them to take up work.
Do you have data and how long the average stay in Section 8 housing?
Typically what we see for non-elderly or disabled is an average stay of 4 to 5 years in public housing. I think one of the programs that you've focused on historically, which is absolutely critical, is the Family Self-Sufficiency Program. I know this from my own experience at the local level, where we were expanding with our own funds family self-sufficiency. We're in the process, using our Transformation Initiative dollars, of doing the first ever full national study of the Family Self-Sufficiency Program, because we believe that it provides the kind of incentives that are necessary to help people gain work and succeed, as well as to open up spaces within the programs for those who are on the waiting list. So with your support, certainly we would look to do more with the Family Self-Sufficiency Program.
Thank you. Then this morning there was an article published by the American Banker stating that a deal had been made with the among the regulators writing the QRM rule, and among the components reported was the 20% down payment requirement, loan servicing standards, and loan modification standards. Particularly with the 20% down standard, I'm concerned that there'll be few first-time buyers will be qualifying for the QRM. So won't that result make most first-time buyers fall into the FHA program, which is going to, you know, already you're trying to dampen that down too?
First of all, let me assure you that no agreement among all the regulators has been reached at this point. There are numerous parties, including HUD, they're part of those discussions, and there is no final agreement or proposal at this point. On your specific point about the effect on FHA, as you know, there is an exemption for Fannie Mae, for FHA and for Ginnie Mae from the QRM standards, and there is some risk that we would see additional demand for FHA that would come out of a standard. On the other hand, it is important that we ensure that capital is driven toward safe, stable products. And the proposal we will put out will be a proposed rule. There will be plenty of time for this committee and the public to weigh in on any proposal. It's possible we might even propose some alternatives within that rule. And this is one of the issues that we'll be talking about, is balancing safety and soundness with the risk of potentially driving more business to FHA under the rule.
Okay. Is this, this morning Secretary Geithner talked about the administration recommending a joint FHA and FHFA working group to tighten the standards. Is this the same one, or is this another? This is another group?
I don't know exactly the question he was responding to, but there are a number of places where we are working jointly with FHFA. He may have been talking about servicing standards and in particular, the standards for compensating servicers for the servicing work that they do. We've undertaken with FHFA a broad look at those standards. It's clear that the current compensation model for servicing is broken. It's not working for consumers, homeowners. It's not working as well as it should for FHA, and it's not working well enough for the servicers because of the accounting and other complexities of the current standards. So we are working together on that initiative.
Thank you, Chairman Biggert.